Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights. I want to give you just a little bit of an update. I think this is update number 2 on the progress on this wonderful Marbles pocket axe. I've successfully removed all the screws. The last 3 were kind of tough, but I just kept soaking it. I'd use some WD-40 for a while, let it soak for a day or so and tap on them. And then I'd put it back into the rust remover and let it soak for several hours and just back and forth. And eventually I got the other 3 out. So here's the screws. Still intact. That's wonderful. I was very happy to get that out. And of course, now I did have to chip away some of this to get the covers off and then chip around the screw because I think the problem was it wasn't getting soaked down in. And by removing those, then I was actually able to get down and let the solution get down into the screw holes and around the screw. And I've been doing some sanding. I still have not found any stamping on it. And they were usually stamped like here. Or what I've seen online in the older models, that there was a stamp right here. But I don't see any number stamped in there. It might just be that it got ate away, just not sure. This silver on here, and I want to show that you've got this here. That is not paint. That is nickel. This was nickel plated. And you can see it up here. I don't think the head was, but the handle and all the internal parts were nickel plated. And you can see that very well here. One of the reasons I did read online, somebody said that theirs was nickel plated, and as I sand on that, it's not coming off. So that tells me it's not paint. It's nickel. And if you look here, if you look right there, looks like there's a pin in there. So, you know, looks like this was 2 pieces, like this got put in and then pinned in there, but I'm not exactly sure. But it makes sense. So yeah, the sanding's coming along. I bought some sanding discs and I'll be doing some more heavy sanding on this. Right now, what I want to do is there's a screw right down here, and this screw holds this piece here, and I want to try to get that screw out so I can remove this piece so I can get cleaned underneath it. And that's actually a spring, it looks like. You fold this back because when you move it out like this, you can see a spring action to it. So I've got to get down in there and get that all cleaned out down in there. Now I did attempt once to try to remove that screw. It is tight. It doesn't want to come out. So what I did is I bought this. It's called CRC. It's Freeze Off Super Penetrant. So you're supposed to be able to spray the area on the screw or a nut and it freezes it. And of course as it freezes it contracts, and then as it warms up it's going to expand back again. So you do that back and forth, and hopefully it'll loosen up some of that rust. But I'm going to have to take this outside to do this. I don't want to spray it inside the house here in my basement. I bought this because I thought I was going to try it on this screw back here, the most stubborn one, but it did come out. So let's go outside and see if we can freeze that one and see if we can get it out. All right, now I watched a video on this. They said to spray it for about 15 seconds, I think, and it should get it really cold. So let's just see what happens. Okay, good thing I did this outside. Kind of messy. Okay, we're going to let it warm up and then we'll see what happens. Alright, I waited a couple minutes here. I'm going to see if I can get this loose. This screw right here. Nope. She's not wanting to budge. Nope. Let me see if I can get a better screwdriver. Well, I have not succeeded in my effort to remove that little screw down there. So I tried using that freeze out. It didn't work. So I attempted to use it several times. Can't get it to budge. I did some heating. Heated it up pretty good. Did that several times. I've soaked it in the rust remover again. And now I'm back to lubricating it. But that thing just will not budge. And I gotta be so careful because there's not much left to grab a hold of there. I'm almost thinking, well, the good news is that screw does come out the other side here. So I'm thinking what I'm going to end up having to do is to drill that out there. And I don't think I'll have any kind of a problem finding a replacement screw for it. But this is a screw, it holds this spring, and the reason I want to get it out is so I can get, cleaned back down in there. It's hard to get it clean down in there. So that's the status of that little screw. So you got this, it's just a piece of metal here, and then the arm here, if I can find it right there, you can see right there, it looks like there's a pin right there. So, yep, right there you can see it again. So this actual arm is just pinned here and rotates off of that pin, and there's that little spring there. So when you pull it back, it pushes down on that there, goes down. But the other good news is I've worked with this end here just a little bit, and so we can see this here, and yeah, snaps right on. Snaps right on. Pretty cool, huh? But I've got to flatten this down just a little bit because it's rubbing when it gets down into this end. See right there, it's catching. So I'm going to have to squeeze that shut just a little bit. So I'm slowly working on that a little bit. I'll get that figured out. But yeah, isn't that great? And I don't know if I pointed this out earlier, but after getting the cover off here, I discovered this number down here stamped in there, 718. I searched online. I don't know what the significance of the 718 is. I really don't. And I've done a little more sanding and cleaning here, as you can see. So it's coming along. It's coming along. I'm just going to take my time here, but I just thought you might like this little update. And until next time, have a very delightful day.